If you watch any of my videos, you'll notice that I often compare cars to the W140 S Class Mercedes-Benz. So by now, you probably know that that's one of my most favorite cars in the world. And here's another one. Here we have the 1998 SL280 R129 body. Today I'm going to show you around this car and I'm also going to give it a test drive. But before that, please don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to my channel to see more updates, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. R129 body was made from 1989 to 2001. Some were even sold in 2002 as a silver arrow models, the last of the lineup. And throughout its lifetime, it received a bunch of facelift, but the most noteworthy one was the one in 1994. Now this one being a 1998, this is the facelift model, so you get 6 slats on the grille instead of 7. You get a more rounded fog lamp design. And as you move on over to the side, you can see that it has these factory AMG body kits. So you have everything from the front bumper, the side skirts, and later on at the back. Again, since this is a facelift model, it's body colored. So the moldings on the side, they're body colored. This one's also rounded, these vents right here. And the rims, these are original AMG monoblock 2s. They are 235 40/18s in the front. And at the back, you have 265 35/18s. And if you look at the car, it's just a very, very low car. That's just something that they did in the 90s and even the late 80s, but we just don't get a car this low anymore today. It's just not common anymore. Now, if you can see also that the top, it's painted in black, but actually no, that's not paint. This is actually a factory panoramic roof. So the SL series, the R129, it came with both the Vario roof design, so that's the soft top, and this one also comes with the hard top that you can just put, but you need like 2 people to put it on. It's quite heavy. For this car, the Vario roof doesn't work anymore, so we just have the hard top on. Now, if you're not that acquainted with Mercedes-Benz car, you might note that why does it say SL280 instead of like 280 SL, 320 SL, 500 SL, or even 600 SL? That's because in 1994, they changed their nomenclature setup to have the series first, before the number, before the displacement. So this being a 1998, you get SL280 SL class. Now here, it's very reminiscent of something like a W126 with also hints of the W140. So you get your third brake light here. You have these same ridge tail lamps, which supposedly prevents dust, mud, and even snow from building up over here and covering your headlight, your tail lights rather. Now this one, you get the same button to open your trunk, just like the S Classes. So you just press that one up, and this supposedly is assisted so that it'll stay up. But this one, it's broken right here. You get an early warning device. It's lined in this nice felt interior, which is the same as the main interior of the car, the passenger compartment. And over at the left side, you can see that you even have your original CD changer. I believe that's a 6-disc CD changer, and you also have access to your first aid kit. Now over here, down here, if you look at this felt material again, if you open this one up, you get your factory wind deflector, which is pretty cool to still have it in this car. And just close that one back up like that. You just clip this one, and then you can then shut it like that. So once you open up the latch inside, how do you open up the hood? Well, it's hidden down here in this bento box looking thing. So you just reach in, then pull like that, and under the hood, you'll be greeted with this 2.8 liter M104 inline 6 engine, which produces 193 horsepower in PS and 270 Newton meters of torque. Now, if you're familiar with the W140 S Class, you'll note that this part of the car is virtually identical, at least looks-wise. And over here, you also have this aftermarket heat shield. Unfortunately, a lot of the heat shields in this R129 series, they tend to fall off, so aftermarket it is. Close this one back up, you just slam it down. And after that, I want to show you a cool thing about this car. So this is very similar to the W124 E Class. You have a monoblade wiper in this car. So how that works is that it's long here, it goes up, it shortens, it telescopes and shortens, then lengthens again right there, and then goes back the same way. Here inside the R129 SL280, first check the thud of the door. And that sounds amazing. It's pretty much just like a W140. Let's start it up. Fires right up like that. Let's turn on the AC. Now here in the interior, it's very similar to the W140 and the W126, so it's a mix of both. So the dashboard, it's very much identical, just like the W126 and the W124. They had to like retrofit an airbag in here because halfway through the production line, airbags were mandated. So your glove box is gone and you only have this airbag thing right here. So in lieu of the glove box, you ended up having this thing right here, which is a very, very small cubby with a cup holder that is oddly shaped. It's extremely oddly shaped. So close that back up. You have this cubby right here as well, similar to the W140. Thankfully, it still works. Most of these break. Air vents are similar too. The center console is very, very similar. You also have this factory head unit, which I'm not quite sure if it works. It does. It does. It still works. That's amazing. All original. Then here, your steering wheel is the same as the SLK R171. So your horn are in the middle. Then, of course, it has airbag too. This one is a US version, so you have your gauge cluster in miles. This one has 21,130 miles in it, which is probably one of the freshest in the country. The seats are very, very comfortable. There's plenty of adjustments. Nice red leather interior too. So there's so many ways to adjust this. And they're all working. And you can even move the headrest. Okay, the headrest probably doesn't work, but yeah, that's the only thing that doesn't work. Your seat belts on the side, they're integrated into the seats. So when you pull it, it's very nice. Even the seat belts are so nice in this. The seatbelt latch though, it's a weird looking design. It's very unlike any car I've seen. Your shifter too, it's just your conventional 90s Mercedes shifter. You also get W and S. So W is your winter mode. That's pretty much your regular mode that you want to use on your daily drive. Then you have S mode. Many people think that that's sport. Actually, no, that is standard. Power mirrors. This one is the switch for the Vario roof, but it doesn't work here. But as you can see, it looks like the roof of the car. It's shaped like the roof of the car. Very interesting. Fully automatic to power windows. And also, what's interesting about this car is that back then, when they were just starting the whole keyless entry setup, you have this thing right here that has red and green. So if you click the car, if you click the remote on the car, it'll turn green. It'll flash green to tell you that the car is open, and red otherwise. This one too, panoramic roof, very rare with this car. Side airbags as well for this facelift model. Materials in this car too is just of exquisite quality everywhere. The steering wheel, the horn pad, this armrest, which by the way you can slide forward, and right here, that's all felt. It's like really lovely felt. It's like the carpet from hotel rooms. That's just pretty amazing. Here on the side, you get this thing too. So that flips up to reveal a cubby, and that could use some armor all. It's starting to squeak a bit, but that's really just the material overall. It's just excellent. The seat leather too is just a perfect place to be. It's definitely a grand tour of this car. Some very cool things about this car. So if you press this button, that will actually raise up the roll bar. So it's optional if you want to die or you want to look cooler. And this one, to press it down. Now this one, the AC system. So if you turn it off and you turn off the car, you can actually press rest. And even though the car is off, it'll still use residual energy to blow air into the car. So right now we barely have any residual energy because we haven't been using the car much, so it's not blowing air, but yeah, you have it there. That is pretty. Normally most R129 SLs don't have seats at the back, but this one being like a special order model, you actually get seats at the back. So you have this thing that looks like a door handle. You pull this one and okay, just like that. And you climb on in, you attempt to. I'm only 5'6", but and if I close this, it's just not happening. So I don't think even kids would fit in here. So that's just something to look out for. If you want an SL, it's just gonna be you and your partner riding shotgun. Oh, and that, turn on the radio, the antenna goes up as well. Very, very 90s. That's pretty long too. 98 SL280 R129. The thing about driving this car is that you'd expect it to ride really uncomfortably since it is a Roadster, or, well, I don't know, arguably a Grand Tourer. However, if you're used to driving 90s Mercedes, probably like a W124, W126, or even the W140, you'll feel very much at home with this car. The interior feel is very the same. The driving feel is also very similar. It's incredibly soft. It's incredibly comfortable. You can definitely go long distances with this one. Now this car, this is the base model SL280 with a 2.8 liter engine. It can go up to something like a 320, a 500, a 600, and even one of those really rare AMG ones that go from like 55, 63 or 65, 70, 72, and even an SL73, but those are incredibly rare, so that's not something that you would see every day. But for is the SL280 enough? That's the question right here. It is more than enough. If I just floor it right here, it's not the fastest, but it's sprightly. And of course, it is one of those inline six engines, which are incredibly smooth. So it's really, really nice feeling. The handling in this car, it is pretty good as well. The turning radius too, it is really good. If you want to drive this in the streets, no problem at all. I just turned like that, and wow, now we're going on this twisty road, and it handles pretty well. It's not as tight as like purpose-built sports cars, but after all, this is not a sports car. This is a Roadster after all. The main purpose of this is to let you cruise comfortably, and should you want to go a bit faster, and there you have it. This car can do all those for you. Visibility in the car is great as well. Of course, that panoramic sunroof aids a lot into the light into the cabin. All around, you have great visibility. Your A-pillars, they're not exactly the thinnest, but they're pretty good. It's still a 90s design. All the way to the side too, you don't have a B-pillar, so you see everything out of it. The side mirrors, they're nice and long. They're nice rectangular as well. And you also have those like European curved mirrors, which make you see a lot out of it. Over these bumps and potholes, and even some speed bumps, it is incredibly comfortable. I don't think that anyone would call this car in any way uncomfortable. It's definitely not a sports car when it comes to the comfort of it. You can just really daily drive this should you want to. Not that you should, because you're supposed to preserve these cars. You're not supposed to trash them and drive them every day. That's just too risky to do. Noise insulation, it's generally alright. You have this panoramic sunroof, so that definitely would let in a little bit more noise into the car versus just the hardtop. And of course, I expect that since this comes with the Vario roof, that there's some seals that will be missing versus a regular coupe. So that's just something to look out for. However, road noise though, that is incredibly quiet. You barely hear the road in this car, despite this having these China branded Nankang tires, which aren't exactly the best. So let's again try the cornering right here. Oh, and that's incredibly flat. There is still that tiny bit of body roll, but it's just very, very minimal. It's not gonna make you puke in any way. It's again, very nice around corners as well. So to test out the acceleration of this car, I'm just gonna do like step on the brake and floor it. And yeah, it's not that fast. It picks up, but it's not incredibly fast. If you want something faster, maybe you should go for like SL500. Let's have a kickdown feature, and yeah, it sounds pretty good though. It's a decent sounding car. It's not incredibly great sounding, but overall, it's enough. It's more than enough. This 280 engine is more than enough. So if you're looking to buy this car, I think now you can get them for around 1 million, 1.5 million pesos in, I guess, decent shape. So what are the things to look out for? Number one, the M104 engine in these SL280 and SL320. Some of them are known to have some head gasket issues, so just remove the fuel cap, the oil fill cap, and check if it looks like expired milk in there. If it's all creamy and gunky looking, then run away from that. That's probably a head gasket issue. And then second is a Vario top. So a lot of these cars, their Vario top fails a lot, including this particular one right here, and they can leak into the interior and splash you, make you take a shower with hydraulic fluid, which is definitely not a fun sight. If you like this video, please don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see more car reviews.